cities and local governments. So, without further ado, allow me to invite the Secretary General of the United Cities and Local Governments, Dr. Bernadia Irawati Chandra Dewi, for her welcome message. Over to you, Dr. Bernadia.
Thank you very much, Liz. Very good morning, dear mayors, dear speakers. Welcome to the second module of this Asia Pacific Mayors Academy. I hope everyone is in good health and spirit. I'm greeting you from city of Brussels. It's still early morning here. So allow me to begin with question to everyone. I think we all the mayors have a very important role to play. So how can we future-proof our cities? As the mayors, you must have been also facing several risks and also anticipating the future shocks and stresses. So resilient cities are essential for a sustainable future, sustainable cities as well. So together with our partners in this academy, Module 2, that has a title of Navigating Multi-Crisis Contexts, key approaches for addressing multiple crises has been designed actually to all of you to introduce key approaches and initiatives to manage crisis and future shocks, as well as demonstrate how addressing crisis can build urban resilience. I think you have experience in several crises and risks that include also climate actions as well as climate crisis, and the recent ones was on COVID-19. So you have some kind of experience in addressing those risks and also minimizing those risks. So cities like yourself have been experiencing a lot of crises that are sometimes beyond our control and capacity. So in this module, we really want to highlight that to address this crisis involves not just responding to them, like you have responded quite well during the COVID-19, as well as also responding to whatever disasters you might have. But the important aspect on this module is also how you manage to reduce future risks. We don't know what kind of risk that you might face in the future, but at least you prepare yourself for preparing those kind of future risks. So what are the most pressing challenges in your cities and how you are addressing them? Through this module, we also want to emphasize that there is a need to have integrated approaches as well as integrated solutions. So one program can address several sustainable development goals, as you will see in the presentation later, because we will also have the localization of SDGs later in this module. So what we are familiar with the say is that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So it is important to have a comprehensive plan that is linked with the budget to ensure its execution. So I also just joined decentralized cooperation of the European Commission. This is part of the Partnership for Sustainable Cities future program. And here we highlight that also the importance of decentralized cooperation or city-to-city cooperation in all aspects. So I think we can also share later how from this module you can also have some more exchanges with other mayors and how you address those risks through decentralized cooperation or city-to-city cooperation. So I hope you will be able to learn from the perspective of the experts. We are so fortunate to have several speakers here with us today. We have C40, we have Santa Rosa, we have also Yokohama, if I'm not mistaken, and several other speakers that who you will be able to learn from. So let's hope that this module will be very useful for you. And I really like to welcome everyone for any feedbacks, how this module could be improved. So let us have a productive session. And I really look forward to having your active participation. So welcome once again, mayors from Malaysia, Nepal, Indonesia, Maldives. We have Malang also here, and also all the partners here from ESCAP and UN Habitat and others. And once again, welcome to this module, and hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bernadia. So before we proceed, may we request everyone to please turn on your videos for a group photo.
This is a good photo session, so have a big smile.
And our colleagues can give us the count. How long will we be smiling? Are we ready?
1, 2, 3. One more shot. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, and your very big smiles for the day. So, let me also ask Dr. Bernadia to stay and introduce our mayor
Yes,
from
very
Malen.
pleased. Yes, very pleased to welcome Mayor Male. Very pleased to meet you virtually, and welcome for this session. We have managed to communicate last time, I think a couple months ago, in which you are also interested in this localized SDGs, and you managed to complete this VLR for Maldives. So Mayor, once again, welcome, and very pleased to have you here. So you have the floor, Mayor.
Good morning,
Mayor.
everyone.
Yes.
Thank you, Banadia, for arranging this session. I hope this will benefit us to perform our duty here as a mayor. My name is Adam Azim. I'm mayor of Mala City. I've been in office for the last 1 year. So I'm expecting to gain a lot of knowledge from colleagues who's joining this session. So once again, thank you so much for organizing this session. Thank you.
I also saw several mayors from Indonesia, my dear friend, Mayor Banda Aceh. Welcome, Mayor. And all the mayors from Nepal. And also we have speaker from Santa Rosa. So, yes, Liz, maybe, I don't know whether Mayor Asok is here. I think he's in Japan right now. So maybe Mayor Elisa, you might like to introduce yourself, and welcome back. You got elected. Congratulations, Mayor.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Eliza Saadud Jamal, Mayor of Banda Aceh City. I'm elected for 2 months. Yeah, 2 months. 2 months ago, and very happy to join with this program. Thank you, Bu Bernadia. Inshallah, maybe one day everyone can come to Banda Aceh City. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bu Elisa. Actually, Mayor Elisa got reelected 2 months ago, and she lost one time, yeah, Bu Elisa, but she brave to come back, and she won again the election. So again, congratulations, Mayor Elisa, and look forward to having your active participation in several conferences and workshops as well. So welcome. So let me move to, we are so lucky. We also have several women mayors with us. So I like to invite Mayor Birendra Nagar from Nepal, Mayor Mohan Maya Dakal Bandari. You have the floor. I don't know if she's here. I hope she's with us. So we are so lucky to have several women mayors with us. this time, because it was not that, it was quite challenging to have a representative from women mayors. Is she here?
I think she may be
Yes,
joining late.
yes.
Oh,
Is it
she's,
Ibu Shri or Mr. Shri?
yes, Mr. Sri, yes.
Here a little bit noise I'm trying to control. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Great. So apologies for the noise. In a few minutes, they will stop it. If it is unbearable, I will ask Tam to take over.
Yes. I don't know whether we have Mayor's Birendra Nagar here or Mayor Musikot, Nepal. If yes, please introduce yourself. If not, we can proceed. I don't think the mayors, those mayors are here. So Lisa, please proceed, yeah? Thank you, Mayor. Looking forward
Great.
to having your active participant, and back to you, Mr. Sri, not Miss Sri. Welcome.
Sorry, my sincere apologies for the noise. There are some errands at our house, upstairs are trying to make some repairs. So we have asked them to stop it. Please bear with us. So, Honorable Mayors, Excellencies, it is lovely to be with you again today. And thank you, Banadia, Ibu, terima kasih for the introduction, and the UCLG ASPAC for leading this module. As you know, just yesterday, I'm trying to set the tone for today's, crisis module. Just yesterday, we heard a 5.9 magnitude earthquake struck in North, following an earlier 7.3 magnitude earthquake, which we estimated the total cost of recovery is exceeding 230 million. And we are in Bangkok, and less than 2 months ago, you must have seen horrific images of water being splashed from the apartments and due to the earthquake in Sagaing. And it was 7.7 magnitude earthquake in Myanmar that killing almost around 4,000 people, injuring more than 5,000 people in Sagaing and Mandalay. And with thousands of people remain in crisis, still living in temporary shelters, sometimes even outside in the public buildings, and unprecedented psychological trauma. I'm heading this evening. That's the reason, one of the reason I could not come to the compound today, to Yangon for a week to support our efforts, habitat efforts with the UN system there in Myanmar. And colleagues, in responding to these hazards, having a robust recovery framework is quite essential. The reason because all of you as mayors, you are going to spend valuable time of your office and also your staff, and you are going to invest a lot of money from your budgets in building something for your constituents. At the same time, these natural disasters and climate disasters are something they are going to reverse all the developmental gains that you have made within a fraction of a minute. So all it takes is that particular earthquake or a flood or a landslide or any of those multiple disasters. And Asia Pacific being sitting on kind of a 7-Eleven of disasters that I always say, it's so essential for all of you to be aware and also be prepared. What are those tested tools in terms of the framework? So some of the key questions that were asked based on what has worked, what has not worked. So I think the tsunami, the Indian Ocean tsunami has given us so many good lessons. And of course, there are so many other disasters in the region. What we found is the institutional and multi-level governance mechanisms that Benadia always talks about, the role of the local leaderships and the kind of gaps that you have between the local to subnational, subnational to the ministry is of paramount importance, so that you can be faster, you can be quicker, and so at the same time you can optimize a lot of resources so that there is no duplication that has happened. And it also important that how that local coordination at a place of disaster is facilitated by the kind of systems that you will establish, or those that have been established, how you are going to strengthen that. And finally, you need to really look at what is that on budget resources that you already have from the treasury or from the ministry, and also the efforts that are needed to bring the off budget resources. So to guide this whole implementation of this immediate, medium term, and the long term interventions, to lay the foundation for the holistic resilience, it is so important to have that frameworks, and we call it as urban recovery framework. So it's basically whether it is cities or settlements. So it is so important to have this urban recovery frameworks. So let me help set the background. So many of you are already familiar with this slide. Tam, are we on the right slide?
We'll put it on. Yep, hang a sec.
Okay, great. So you all know what it takes and what it means to build resilience, anticipate better, and to absorb shocks. And this will allow us to adapt and recover quickly. So therefore, more we improve and increase our systems to adapt and also build the resilience, the easier it becomes to withstand any of those shocks, the sudden shocks. Or else, what we found is when after COVID, when people that have been affected to the COVID, from riches to ranks, what we found is the most vulnerable people are the people that are really poor, and those that are living in informal settlements, that they have to spend so much of money on the healthcare at the same time when there is a flood or a disaster. So they really could not cope up with that shock. So fundamentally, this urban recovery framework, it tells you about multi-sectoral and area-based approaches, so that we can understand the linkages between different sectors. So we are not talking about each sector to be implemented like the way that our ministries are designed, but the recovery framework is actually calling for an integrated area-based intervention. So you take area as a unit, and within that you will take family as a unit. So it is so important to have that integrated approach, so that there is so much of time can be saved, and also the resources. So, and we found it will not only adjust to some of those immediate needs, but there are many other socio-economic and also the cultural aspects that also can be absorbed by the framework. So with that, please allow me to request to show the presentation by my colleague, Philippe Decote. He is our emergency director, so he will help unpack the urban recovery framework developed by UN Habitat that is applicable for cities and settlements, human settlements, irrespective whether it is a climate disaster or a natural disaster. And it encompasses 4 key areas. It analyzes the effects, the impact, and it also encourages a participatory planning, and it also talks about how do we implement through that people's self-help mechanisms, and also the how to integrate those formal government structures to more cooperative or informal people structures. And finally, the monitoring being so important and also ever evolving process, coupled with community-led social audit. So thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, myself and Tam are standby to respond to after the presentation. Thank you. Over to Tam for running the presentation of Philippe.
Thank you, Dr. Sri.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think for now, if Thank you for setting the scene and introducing the urban recovery framework of UN Habitat. For now, I think we can have the quick icebreaker first. If we can go to that slide. Yes. May we request our mayors to scan the QR code, or you can access the Menti link that will be shared by colleagues on the group chat. Just for a quick quiz for this session. Okay, can we go to the first question? So the Asia Pacific region is facing multiple crises, as we have heard from Dr. Sri. So which among these strongly affect your city or municipality? Is it climate change, pollution, diversity loss, or others? So we're seeing how quickly the the scores are changing, mostly on climate change. And we hope the upcoming presentations will help enlighten you on what we can do at the local level in order to address climate change, also pollution. Next question, please. So how do you address the crisis that your cities or municipalities face? This is an open-ended question, just keywords. We see local planning. Planning. Very connected also to what Dr. Bernadia mentioned earlier, that if we fail to plan, we plan to fail. Of course, having a framework will guide our actions at the local level. An inclusive VLR, we'll hear more about that later as well. Thank you very much for these responses. Yes, we will also hear more about waste management later. Next slide, please. I think this is our last question for this exercise. So what is the most important instrument needed to overcome this crisis? Budget, communication line, clear institutional jurisdiction, stakeholder engagement, or others? Okay, we see budget and stakeholder engagement very closely. Okay, stakeholder engagement. Of course, for an inclusive process, we need to listen to our stakeholders and engage them so that we can effectively implement our projects and activities, and they will have ownership of the policies that we implement as well. Thank you so much for these responses. I think we can end the Menti presentation and go to the next, proceed with the presentations. Next slide. Okay. So the multidimensional nature of multiple crises necessitates integrated action, digital solutions, and participatory approaches. So it's good that we see that in the Menti earlier that you mentioned, stakeholder engagement as an important element in addressing the crisis. So these are embedded in each of the thematic areas of urban and territorial planning, resilient multi-level climate action, digital transformation in cities, and urban finance. So to give you a broader perspective in navigating a multi-crisis context, we have invited several experts and local leaders who will share their insights throughout this module. Next slide. I think we can skip this for now, and next slide. Go straight ahead to the presentation from, yes, since we recall from the exercise earlier that climate change is one of the challenge that you're facing in your cities, let me invite Mr. Murali Ram, Regional Director for East, Southeast Asia, and Oceania of C40 Cities. Over to you, Murali.
Yes, thank you. Can you see my slide and hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Fantastic. Hi, everyone. I've got 5 minutes and I've been asked to share a bit about green and just transition. And I'll do this from a C40 perspective as we work with many of the leading cities around the world and in this region. So in case you don't know, C40 is a collective of about 100 cities around the world. And the cities are committed to taking climate action, both on the mitigation front as well as the adaptation front. And there's also the component of just transition. And to achieve this, typically it starts with an assessment, a baseline, if you may, of the emissions profile, about the risks that the city and the people in the cities face in order to plan action. So when we talk about, it's crazy, isn't it? We talk about climate change, but there's so many things happening at the same time. Of course, some of you have to be worried about economics as well in terms of job creation and all of that. And how do these things all come together is what we're trying to get at. In terms of the triple planetary crisis, you've got climate change, effectively increasing temperatures, extreme weather events, and there's also pollution very much related to the emissions profile as well. Some cities in Southeast Asia, you really find that the air quality is so bad, it actually then deters investments from coming in. And there's also a healthcare costs to be factored in. And these things, if you look at it together, you can actually search for solutions that give you multiple benefits. And lastly is this biodiversity loss. And that's also critical for our human survival in the future, especially when it comes to agriculture. So even at 1 degree, we're already seeing a new climate reality in terms of flash floods and heat, etc. And it's only going to get worse, at least for the next 20 years is what we're looking at, until we plateau the CO2 emissions in the air. Now, as you'd expect, although the effects of climate change are felt by everyone, but they're not felt by everyone equally. Typically, you have vulnerable communities in low-lying areas affected by floods, more than those living in high gradient areas, etc. And then you also have the recovery to a climate crisis or any crisis, and you find that there needs to be a way in which we respond in a just and inclusive way, making sure that the silent majority are taken care of. And this is where your provisions for early warning systems and recovery protocols become really, really important. So again, just to repeat that it's rooted in equity and making sure that when we plan for a response and also for prevention, we've got to think of everyone, particularly the 60-70% of the population who may be more vulnerable. So in terms of a step-by-step process, we start with the baselining. We create a plan to address both the emissions and the adaptation factor to climate change. And we then take a sort of a multi-sector approach. Like the previous speaker said, it's not siloed based on how the government departments at the federal level is done, but at a mayoral level, everything is on your plate, right? So we've got to address it from a multi-sector approach. And the actions has to be mainstreamed into the city's DNA in a way, because within the city also there's a risk of being siloed. And how do we budget for climate responses? How do we make sure that every sort of project that's planned takes into account, can this help with flood alleviation? Can this help with heat management? What can we do? Does this address, say, better travel for logistics and for people, pedestrians, etc.? And lastly, it's about how do you also include the community into all this decision making so that there is stakeholder engagement and continuous of that. Now, I'd like to introduce you to this slide. This is what we call the accelerators for C40. This is for C40 cities. We encourage the cities to sort of take on an accelerator, which is like a declaration, a pledge to act on and show leadership for new ways of doing things. And I'd like to point out the boxes at the bottom, right? So you've got about 12 boxes there, and these are all interconnected. So when cities are focusing on clean air, they're also addressing emissions reduction from CO2 perspective. You talk about green and healthy streets, and that's about walkability and ditching your car for public transportation towards zero waste, so that you don't have to spend so much money treating the waste, and also looking at waste as a resource. Clean construction. Construction is about 40% of the emissions comes from construction. How do you move towards a clean way of doing construction? Heat and health, very important. Increasingly, we're seeing heat waves and lots of people being affected. So how do you plan for a cooler city? Urban nature, including urban as a nature as a solution. So nature-based solutions in cities to manage temperatures. And then you've got net zero buildings. Because buildings also account for plenty of emissions. So how do you create more energy efficiency buildings, water safe cities, both from a water security point of view and also water management from a flood point of view? And how can you connect the two? Good food cities, making sure you don't become a food desert. And how do you ensure that vulnerable populations also have access to good quality food, especially vegetables grown in urban farms in the city, etc.? And then incorporating renewable energy across your portfolio. Start with the municipal first, and then enable other building stock to be able to self-use or sell to the grid, that sort of thing. And this is my last slide, just talking about when we look at the solutions, ideally we plan for multiple benefits. So here's just a slide on nature-based solutions. We see that some examples from Singapore were increased water retention, increased biodiversity, and also increased sort of tourists and people spend that comes out of it. And you look at Medellin, and the green corridors that they've done have actually reduced urban heat island by about 2 degrees, and lots of carbon sink and permanent jobs for gardeners, landscapers, etc. And the last one is from Sao Paulo, basically revitalizing streams and using nature to reduce temperatures. So just pointing out that there could be multiple solutions, ideally plan with that in mind, try to bring in nature. And there's a lot of examples out there across the many cities, including C40 cities. So learn from one another is my last statement. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Morali, and for highlighting the necessity of a multi-sectoral approach for local climate action and stakeholder engagement mainstream into the city's DNA. Thank you so much, Morali, for your brief presentation. Next slide, please. We've already had the introduction earlier, and if we still have time, we will try to play the video of Dr. Decorte, but Mr. Decorte. In the meantime, allow me to proceed first with our next speaker, Mr. Cor Blimsuan, is the program manager of the Chula Zero Waste Initiative of the Chulalongkorn University. So he'll be sharing with us more about this initiative. Mr. Corblim Suwan, are you online?
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good
Can I share my
morning.
slide, please? Thank you.
Can you share your slide?
Yeah. Can you see all right?
Yes, we can see it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Gop Lim Suwan from Chula Zero Waste Initiative from Chulalongkorn University. Thank you so much for having me today. I would like to share with you, this is a waste crisis that everyone talking about, and As you know that all of this is come from consumption, which is results as linear economy. And what we're trying to do here in Bangkok, Thailand, is try to break this cycle and to be moving to circular economy. So Julas Zero Waste Initiative is kind of the SDG in action, which is we try to use a very simple principle, but very difficult for implementation. So this is a waste hierarchy that this is someone called this sustainable waste management, which is very linked directly to the sustainable consumption and productions. And I think it's Tulasuro have been implementing this for 7 to 8 years now, and we're working closely with Bangkok metropolitans to expand this into the city-wide campaign right now through BKK Zero Waste. So we use this like a principle that implement into the throughout the theme of the waste journey, which is at source, the collecting system, and also the treatment process of that. And especially in the city, we have to emphasize a lot at the source, which is a reduction and waste segregation at source. So if we would like to implement this, I think we have to focus on investing in like 3 areas. First is waste management system. This is the backbone that we have to have a good system from the separation to collecting and also the waste treatment. And also we have to working with the people to cultivate the green behavior and the culture that have responsible consumption. And lastly, we cannot do it alone. We have to create kind of community or networking that to help each other to achieve that goal. So in July, for example, if we would like to introduce people to use their own water bottle, we also have to have the green facility to do that. We're increasing water dispenser in the campus a lot. It's to encourage the student not to buy the single-use plastic one, but use their own. And we also make sure that the water is clean and safe, they can use it. And we also have campaign to promote that. We call Your Cup Retreat, which is we kind of build up the green community in the campus as well. If you bring your own cup, we have a roadshow that we give away the free drink for our student and staff and our community. And we also have the good system at the bin, at the source, have to demonstrate how to separate their waste and make use most of the resource that we have. So have many kind of the waste segregation system in the campus, but also linked together with the city and also have the same color system throughout our campus. And we also have collecting system, and we also have the facility that treat the waste that we have. For example, we have 3 of this compactor, just only 1 that go to landfill. For the rest of it, we have separate the waste to energy. We also have that sent to cement factory for the energy recovery as well. So food waste is very big problem in Bangkok because of half of the waste that collecting is generated every day. More than half of it is organic waste. So it's come from the food waste and also food scrap from the kitchen. We also have the system to treat that as well. So this is our waste journey according to what type of the waste that we have. We have the yellow one is very special. We call recycle plus, which is recycle plus energy recovery. So the dry waste is going to this bin, and we segregate that. The one that have value, we sell it for recycle, and the low value single-use plastic, we send it to energy recovery. So at the end, we just not improve only the waste management system, but we try to have the mindset and raise awareness for our students to be the global citizen that have the responsibility to live Very nice. And also, we also work together with BMA, the city of Bangkok, to create a BKK Zero Waste. And as you can see, we're building a community, a networking that everyone come and help to create this sustainable city. Not only Jula Zero Waste. So they segregate the food waste, and the governor also working the back office to, if the residents separate their waste, they will collecting accordingly. So you can see this is a attempt to separate the food waste, organic waste. This is from the market. And we also working together with local school and community to promote this, and also help them to kind of improve their own waste management system in their community as well. This is the 3 school that Jula Zero Waste go and help them develop that. And also the temple. This is Patumwan temple. And also have a lot of restaurant that we set up this food waste segregation at the kitchen, and they can separate the waste and also connect with the city that have to pick it up for them. This is a deposit return system that we implement for the Bangkok's event. We use this reusable cup and bottle, cup and container instead of the single-use plastic one in the city event. This is a film, Bangkok Film Festival. So we use this instead of a single-use plastic, set up this system for them. And also the Bangkok also have Bangkok Refill, which is the water dispenser, which is clean and for people to use their own personal cup instead of using the single-use plastic one. So this is what I would like to share to have the city have the awareness of not only improve the facility or waste management system, but have to working with all the stakeholders, just like the previous presenters tell, that we have to create kind of the green community to help each other and create this movement together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Corb Limsuan. So, in your presentation, you highlighted the importance of the investment on a waste management system, the green behavior, and communities. And you also showed us that how your university is working with the local government, the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration. We're a little bit behind time, but allow me to open the floor if you have any questions for our first 3 speakers from C40, from Chulalongkorn University, and from UN Habitat. Any mayors? Do you have any questions so far?
Hello, Mr. Liz. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
from Malaysia. I would like to ask Mr. Korb about the program that you initiate in Chulalongkorn University. Would you please share with us how do you get the buy-in from the people in Bangkok, from the community to accept and to practice this circular economy in your locality? Can you share with us how you get the buy-in from the people?
Oh, actually, we start at tackle the waste crisis in the campus first, and then after first 5 year, for the second phase, we connect with the city, which is we driving the policy, the policy level that have to kind of working together to spread this idea and do as a district. And now we kind of the pilot district in Bangkok to implement this, and we were working very closely with the city of Bangkok.
Meaning, actually at the beginning, at the initial phase, you started with the university first.
Yes.
And after some time, about 5 years, then you embark to the district or locality level, is it?
Yes, yes. The first phase we implement in the campus, try to prove that our approach is correct, because of our approach is very simple, but we working together, the system and the people. And I think these two have to work together. And then after that, so we working with the city to kind of have the impact of the whole city.
All right. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions for our speakers? Going once, going twice. If not, thank you once again to Mr. Murali Ram from C40, Mr. Corb Lim Suan from Chulalongkorn University, and Dr. Sri Popuri from UN Habitat. So next slide, please. Okay, this is just to briefly check and remind everyone that in the previous module, we asked you for your homework to complete module 1 of the SDG localization and climate action synergies. So next slide, please. Due to lack of time, we'll skip this for now. We'll trust that you have completed the first module of that e-learning course. Next slide. Okay, our next session is on the introduction to voluntary local reviews. Allow me to invite our next speaker, Dr. Fernando Ortiz Moya, policy researcher of the Institute for Global Environmental Strategies. Fernando,
Yes, hello
the
everybody.
floor is yours. Thank you.
Hello Liz, thank you very much. Hello everybody, I hope you're having a nice session. So since we are running out of time, I am gonna also give a brief introduction because this is something we will also be talking on next week module. So next slide, please. Just as a summary, when you were applying to this year's Mayors Academy, we asked you 2 questions. First question was like, are you aware of a voluntary local review and what it is? So 82% of the majors here with us today, of all the majors that were selected for our cohort, said that they are aware, while 18% said they were no. So this shows that among this year's cohort, we have a very big awareness of voluntary local reviews. And second, we also ask whether you would be interested in undertaking a VLR during or after the academy, with, again, 82% of the majors answered positively, while we had a number of majors that had probably the same that didn't know the format, we're not sure. So next slide, please. Today, I am going to focus on how, on voluntary local reviews. I will explain what they are and also why VLRs are important and why they help to advance the SDGs, and then a little bit of thought for discussion. So next slide. So just an introduction to the Institute for Global Environmental Strategies. We are a research center located in Japan and working with the Ministry of Environment of Japan, as well as with other international organizations and local governments worldwide to advance sustainable development. So we have conducted 5 VLRs of Japanese local governments in partnering with them. We also supported 2 VLRs in the ASEAN region, including Santa Rosa City that we'll talk later on, the province of West Java in Indonesia. We launched the Voluntary Local Review Lab, where we have a lot of content, both collection of good practice in VLR, as well as different reports and knowledge products. And then also methodology on how to conduct VLRs. Next slide. So the importance of voluntary local reviews is that why are cities conducting? So first, cities are more dynamic in responding to critical issues. We have seen that, especially with the COVID-19 pandemic and how many cities were the first line defenders against the pandemic, but also with climate change and how cities are working extensively to address the challenges of climate change. Then also, because cities are responsible for a great share of the targets comprised by the SDG, Sometimes estimates say around 2/3 of the targets that are comprised by the 17 SDGs are locally implemented, and also because traditionally many cities have demonstrated greater ambitions in advancing sustainable development. And this expands to areas such as many cities are having more ambitious targets for decarbonization, and also they are implementing more ambitious policies to cope with climate change. Next. So cities are understanding the VLR as a process rather as a one-time exercise. So this means that there is a great number of cities that are conducting more than one VLR, and the VLR is, they have the report in which they publish the results, but it's the VLR is a process that is embedded into their governance structure. Also, cities are striving to make use of the VLR to both advance horizontal coordination across units of government. So they are using the VLR as a breaking the silos, because in working with the VLR and working with the SDGs, oftentimes you need to bring together all the departments of your local administration and helping to create this conversation that can facilitate how the local officials are working on the SDGs. Also, VLRs are holistic and prepare an integrated approach to the SDGs and help you to address complex issues, which is the main topic of today's module, including not only post-COVID-19, but as well as fighting climate change. Next. So, in seeking policy integration, cities are finding that there is a great number of benefits, including that integrated action can leverage wider co-benefits. So this results in more cost-effective policies. So, buy two for the price of one, which is something that all of us love. Also, you can better anticipate the negative aspects of some policies. So maybe you are implementing some X number of policies that may have a trade-off in other SDGs, so you can better anticipate and address those trade-offs. And also you can better anticipate the synergies that help to justify climate action to the public. So when you are working with SDGs on advancing sustainable development, this can help you to show how by addressing climate change and sustainable development, you are addressing concerns that might be more pertinent or more urgent to the public, such as the current cost of living crisis and the current inflation that is shaking many households worldwide. Next. So again, the policy integration, it's something that it's hard to do, and many cities have trouble trying to figure it out how to do it, because as I mentioned before, we have the silo approach in which you have different departments in your cities, and each department usually is managing one single aspect, such as waste management, public spaces, transport, and it's hard, to talk to each other. I know everybody's busy, so it's hard to coordinate. So the VLR, by bringing together this holistic view provided by the SDGs, helps to create these communication channels internally to really start making the silos more permeating between each other. Also, because there is a lack of data, so many local governments face the challenge of lack of data to support more integrated policy making. And also, there's a certain level of lack of vertical integration and the recognition of the role of local government. So maybe if you have in your country provincial or regional governments, as well as national governments, not in every country there are established mechanisms, or there is not so easy to create this vertical communication. So VLRs can help you to address these challenges and can create a blueprint on how to tackle them in a very effective manner. Next slide, please. So I wanted to be brief today, and since we are already running out of time, I want to leave more time for our next speakers. But just for you to think, is a couple of questions that you can answer in the chat, or you can think about them and talk about them later in the future question and answer section. Is like, are you considering conducting a VLR in the near future? Also, how can local governments maximize their contribution to attaining the SDGs? Furthermore, what are cities' main challenges in localizing the SDGs, and how do you think that VLRs help to overcome challenges to accelerate progress? And finally, if you have any questions or suggestions. So next slide, please. So here you can scan our QR code and you can visit our website where we have all of the different materials on VLR. So please go ahead and visit anytime. And next, I think, yes. So thank you so much. Sorry, I went quickly. So we have time for the case study from cities. So I leave it back to Liz so she can introduce our next speaker. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fernando, and for highlighting the role of VLRs in supporting the policy integration at the local level. Now, allow me to invite our next speaker to share with us their experience on development of the voluntary local review from the city of Santa Rosa. Let me invite Mr. Ermin Lucino, City Planning and Development Coordinator. Over to you, Sir Ermin.
Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Liz. Good afternoon, everybody. Next slide, please. Okay.
I have some questions to Mr. Fernando. Can I ask?
Yes, of course. Anything you need.
Okay. And this is Aran Badurai from the Surde municipality. What is the, especially in the short, what is the difference between the VLR and SDG? Well, do we need the VLR to make the SDG? And another is, what is the first steps to make the VLR? How do you, coordinate with the municipality, the province, the central government? What is the process?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. I think there is a lot to unpack here. So first, the VLRs is not separated from the work on the SDGs. It's a tool to articulate the work on the SDGs. So, we have the 17 SDGs, and the 17 SDGs has a number of targets. And then there are also indicators to measure progress towards those SDGs. And indicators can be at the same time, you can track with numbers, so quantitative measures. If you are tackling, for example, SDG 1 on ending poverty, maybe the indicator is on the number of people living under poverty level, and you can see with numbers if 5%, 4%, 3% of the population is progressively living with those levels, you can see how you are improving in that indicator. You can also analyze the SDGs based on policies. So which reaction are you doing to a problem? So the VLR brings all your policies and organize them along with the SDG language, helping you to showcase both data and how you are performing against the SDGs, as well as reaction and highlight the policies and the aspects that you are doing to advance the SDGs. And in doing this process, ideally, you engage with stakeholders, both locally, nationally, and globally. So, for example, you can create communication channels with your national government or your regional government. This situation could vary in different countries. I mean, each country has different levels of government and different communication channels. And also you can engage with international agencies, such here we have UCLG ASPAC, UN ESCAP, UN Habitat, also with us in helping you to advance this process. And later on, we are going to talk with the city of Santa Rosa. Mr. Ermin will give a very good presentation on how this works, because we also help them. So I think the key idea is that through the VLR, you get your comprehensive vision of the city, you look into it, and you start seeing what are you doing to advance the SDGs, what aspects you are not working on, what aspects you are doing very well, and which aspects need to improve. And in this process, you can select a few SDGs, you can select 2, 3, 4 SDGs, you can select to only highlight policies if you don't have enough data. So there are many different approaches that needs to be answered in a one-on-one basis. So if you want more information, I'm always happy to have a later conversation. But I hope this responded to your question. Thank you so much.
And we have only, even there is 17 SDG goals, the one goals like 14 goals the National Commissions of Nepal Planning Commission removed because it is a landlocked country. Do you accept it?
Yes, so I mean, I think you need to the VLR process always led you to reflect on which SDGs you have agency and over which SDGs you can actually work on, and not all SDGs are relevant to you. And as you mentioned, the SDG 14, for example, only 35% of VLRs review SDG 14 because life underwater is something that is not always under the competencies of cities. So that's something that you need to look into one by one cases and see what is your city can do. So you need to really at first start looking into yourself and then try to see what are the aspects that you can do and then prioritize on select SDGs for review later on. And this is a process that you can also count with support from UN ESCAP, UN Habitat, UCLG ASPAC, and also from us and any other international organizations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Fernando. So, allow me to invite back our next speaker, Mr. Ermin Lucino from the city of Santa Rosa, and perhaps his presentation and also the one from Yokohama can give you more information on the VLR based on their experience. Back to you, Sir Ermin.
Okay, thank you, Liz. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ermin. I'm the city planner of the city of Santa Rosa. I'm here to present, the title of the presentation is Localizing to Mainstreaming the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development in the city of Santa Rosa. So what is a VLR? A VLR, a voluntary local review, is a process. It's a process wherein subnational government or local governments or cities undertake voluntary review of their progress towards delivering the 2030 Agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals. So in Santa Rosa, the city of Santa Rosa, through the leadership of our city female mayor, Arlene Arcillas, who just got elected again yesterday, unopposed, pledged to integrate the SDG framework into its development plans and activities. So to do so effectively in 2024, last year, the city decided to undertake a VLR through the support of, we asked the support of UN ESCAP. So again, a VLR is a process through which local government assess their progress in achieving the 2030 Agenda and the SDGs. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is called the triple VLR model of Santa Rosa Laguna. So it's more than just a document. So it transcends to mere documentation. It serves as a transformative tool, offering a blueprint for localizing the SDGs and embedding sustainable practices in governance, policy making, and multi-stakeholder engagement. So we advocate data-driven governance, and it strengthens SDG integration at the level of the city. So if we look at the triple VLR model, the framework is we focus on people first. We use the database as a tool, and then we use the VLR as a process. So as stated earlier, we cannot focus on all the VLR, the 17 VLR. So we focus on just a few of them. So we focus on the people, SDGs 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the planet, 12 and 13, peace, SDG 16, prosperity, 11, of course, partnership. So the model is people-oriented, resource-based, and inclusive. It ensures that the city's sectoral roadmap, the land use plan, the annual plan and budget are geared towards sustainable development. It provides a space for stakeholder engagement, socializing the SDGs, and making sure that no one is left behind. Next slide, please. Okay, here I would like to show you that VLR is a process. So we have the inception phase, the situational analysis, the finalization phase, and the follow-up phase. So right now we're in the follow-up phase. So in a week or two, or we are in the process of publication, of our city VLR. Next slide, please. So it is an enabler for inclusive stakeholder engagement. So we conducted a workshop with stakeholders. This is a multi-sectoral stakeholders, private sector, non-government organizations, women, youth, senior citizens. And then we conducted a one-on-one interview with the communities. And then we also talked to the civil society organization and business group, dialogue with the private sector and barangays. By the way, the Philippines has a barangay level, which is a lower local government unit level below the city level. So a city is composed of several barangays. And uh, after all this, we conducted the sectoral validation also. Next slide, please. So again, as VLR as a tool, so as I've said earlier, we selected only key performance indicators for some SDG targets. So it is anchored on data governance. So we will use this as a transformative tool for development. So as you can see from the slides, we have data on our baseline data, and from this baseline data, we will compare our projects and programs. We will use this as inputs, and then we will look at it after 2 to 3 years time. So next slide, please. So question is, how can VLRs be used to assess progress in local development? So it can be used as a framework that serves as a roadmap for local governments to systematically track their progress towards achieving the SDGs. Through VLR, local development goals, performances, areas for improvements are highlighted. It helps local governments develop effective strategies and connect their local efforts with the Global 2030 Agenda. Next slide, please. So how can VLRs be used to create baselines and identify priority issues and issues to manage crisis? So based on our experience, the VLR becomes an instrument for awareness of city governance. Our model offered Santa Rosa a valuable opportunity to closely examine our development plans through a lens that is people-oriented, resource-based, inclusive, and of course, aligned with the global SDGs. As a framework, provided a clear roadmap, identifying priority issues, key programs, projects, and activities that articulate the city's commitment to the SDGs. Next slide, please. What were the targets for recovery and next steps identified by local and regional government as showcased in the VLRs, particularly linking crisis and other SDGs? So again, based on our experience, the VLR as a framework, tool, and process, again, it's a three-thing, framework, tool, and process, provides sustainable future directions based on the selected SDGs. It provides substantial information on how LGUs plan to address local issues through the lens of the global goals. So BLRs can also foster collaboration between different levels of government. We have the national, the local, civil society, and the private sector, leading to more inclusive and effective development initiatives. So VLR also encourages the city to align our policies, programs, and projects with the 2030 agenda, subsequently identifying gaps and aspects for improvements, or vice versa. So our next step is to strengthen our legal frameworks, again, to continue promote awareness of SDGs and more engagements of stakeholders, proper documentation, continuous monitoring of progress, evaluation, and more engagement. Again, engagement of varied stakeholders. Next slide, please. So what is the recommendation based on our experience? So again, this will be published in a week or 2 weeks or soon, very soon. So recommendations, it is a repository of updated database document. So it will be our basis to have a more efficient delivery of services. So the repository is responsible for keeping records and tracking down documents and statistical data for future use. The VLR, we learned that it can promote concrete awareness programs coupled with impactful actions on climate change. We involve communities. Climate change initiatives are prioritized but should trickle down from city governance down to the barangay or the community level. The initiatives of Santa Rosa's civil society organizations, as well as the private sector corporate social responsibilities, specifically the business group. Of course, these are resources, should be aligned with the SDG targets of the cities. So since they are part of the VLR, so their programs and projects are hopefully in the future should be aligned with the SDG targets of the city. So that's a very quick 5 minutes. So again, thank you so much for inviting us here, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Ermin, for sharing with us the Santa Rosa model on the voluntary local review. And please extend our congratulations also to Mayor Erlene for her re-election. So if you could stay for a few more minutes and allow me also to invite our next speaker before we open the floor, should there be questions from our mayors. Thank you once again, Ermin. Allow me now to invite our next speaker from the city of Yokohama. We have Mr. Noriaki Yokoichi, Director for Development Cooperation, Global Networks Department, International Affairs Bureau of the city of Yokohama. The floor is yours, Mr. Noriaki Yokoichi.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? It's okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me here today. Dr. Bernadia and honorable mayors, good morning and good afternoon. It is an honor to be here today. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the organizers as well for having me in this important workshop. I'm Noriaki Yokouchi, Director for Development Corporation, the city of Yokohama. In my presentation today, I will focus on Yokohama's initiatives on SDGs with VRO and climate actions. Thank you very much. To begin, let me give you an overview of Yokohama City. Yokohama is conveniently located 30 minutes from Tokyo by train. With a population of nearly 4 million, it is the second largest city after Tokyo. Today, it continues to develop as a center of commerce, industry, and tourism. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yes, thank you. Next, I would like to introduce how the city of Yokohama integrates and promotes the SDGs with its local framework. Yokohama has incorporated the SDGs perspective into the city plan called as Midterm 4-Year Plan. To achieve the goals set in this plan, Yokohama has established local KPIs linked to the global SDG targets. In parallel, the Japanese government developed a system to select cities as SDGs future cities to support their initiatives toward the SDGs. Yokohama was selected as one of these in 2018. In Yokohama's case, the process of implementing and reviewing the midterm plan and the SDGs Future City Plan led to our first VRO in 2021. The involvement and collaboration with the national government in this process has been invaluable. Next slide, please. Thank you. Now, I'd like to talk about Yokohama's climate action. The city has been implementing various advanced initiatives to achieve a sustainable future. In the Yokohama's midterm plan mentioned earlier, one of the key themes is the strategy to achieve zero carbon Yokohama by 2050. Yokohama City also updated practical action plan as Global Warming Countermeasure Implementation Plan in 2023. Specifically, we are promoting energy saving, renewable energy, environmentally high performance buildings, and so on. At the national level, the Ministry of Environment is also supporting the city's efforts by selecting decarbonized decarbonization leading areas. Minato-Mirai District, a symbolic district of Yokohama, was selected in the very first year in 2022. Here, we are working in partnership with the private sectors and the citizens to drive decarbonization forward. Next slide, please. Now, I would like to explain how Yokohama has implemented and utilized the VAR process. We believe there are three aspects to VARs. VARs as a city management process, VAR as a communication tool, VAR as a global movement. As a management process, as I mentioned earlier, we manage progress on the SDGs based on two key frameworks, the city's midterm 4-year plan and the SDGs future city plan. This progress management approach is directly linked to our VAR. Next slide, please. Today, let me emphasize the importance of acting as ambassadors for the SDGs and expanding the global movement. The city of Yokohama, yes, thank you. The city of Yokohama annually hosts the Asia Smart City Conference, ASCC, a platform where urban leaders and practitioners from across Asia come together to share insights and discuss solutions to urban challenges. As part of this event, the CityNet SDGs cluster seminars have been held, focusing on VARs and climate action in recent years. Through discussions on VAR experiences and challenges, some member cities have expressed strong commitments toward initiating VARs, and some cities have successfully launched their own VAR processes. One such city is Santa Rosa, Philippines, as presented by Mr. Elmin earlier. Next slide, please. The city of Yokohama have been engaging with partner cities to explore VARs as a tool for addressing urban challenges in emerging cities. In collaboration with international organizations, we promote VARs with SDGs with VAR in Asia by sharing Yokohama's experiences, participating in stakeholder meetings, and conducting peer reviews in areas where Yokohama has strengths for the implementation of VAR. Through these efforts, Yokohama has also learned many things.
Okay.
Sorry. Through these efforts, Yokohama has also learned many things from those cities. By leveraging global platforms, we aim to expand awareness of VARs and SDG initiatives through intercity collaboration. So next slide, please. Yeah, that is for my presentation today. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yokoichi-san, for presenting Yokohama's experience on the VLR. Allow me now to open the floor. Should there be any questions from our mayors for our speakers from Santa Rosa and Yokohama? Are there any questions from our mayors?
Hello, Liz.
Yes,
Hi.
Mayor.
Yeah, thank you for the two presentation, sharing experience in preparing the VLR. Actually, in Malaysia, for my municipal, Hulu Selangor, we already prepared our VLR. And last year, we got the opportunity to present our VLR in WUF, World Urban Forum. And then since then, we didn't review the VLR yet. So I would like to know from Yokohama and also Santa Rosa, did you already go through the process of review the VLR? And if you did, how long the term that you take for you to do the review of this document, for this document? Thank you.
Nana.
Good afternoon. For Santa Rosa, we haven't reviewed it yet because this is the first time we conducted the VLR.
May
Thank
I
you.
know? May I know when you complete the VLR preparation?
So we already completed the process. The last step is we will present it to the city council, and then after that we will publish it. So we have this schedule on presentation this Friday. So after that we will it will be available.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
That's great. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
How about Mr. Yokuchi?
Thank you for the question. For Yokohama, as for Yokohama, we will submit our first VAR report in 2021, and now we have started to prepare our second VAR report. So hopefully we would like to submit our second version in this year. Yeah.
Sorry. Hello.
Thank you. Yes, we have also a question from the mayor from Banda Aceh.
Yeah.
The floor is yours.
Hello. I would like to ask about how can the voluntary local reviews be implemented the city management process to ensure progress in achieving the SDGs. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, that's a very good question on implementation. So what we're planning to do is to mainstream it, so it won't be a separate document. So we will the output of the VLR will become inputs in our short-term plan, our land use plan, our annual plan, and also of course the budget. So by ensuring that what is inside the VLR document will become really part of the uh, you know, the plans and programs and projects of the city. So more or less, it's around 70% of the plans of the cities is also part of the SDGs, because these are the same stakeholders who collaborated. But because of the VLR, the plans and programs indicated in the VLR is now aligned. It is now identified as part of the indicators in the SDGs. So that's how we're going to do it. As I heard earlier with the C40, so that's how we will make VLR part of the DNA of Santa Rosa. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions or responses from our speakers? Everything is clear?
Oh no. Sorry.
Uh-huh. Yes,
Eliza.
please go ahead.
What kind of data is needed to measure the progress of the SDGs using the voluntary local reviews?
Can you repeat? Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Sorry. What kind of data is needed to measure the progress of the SDGs using the voluntary local reviews? About the data.
Okay, so the data is really a challenge, as we all know, from the local government level, the city level. So that's why we focus on not all SDGs, because truthfully we don't have all the data for all those SDGs. So we focus on our priority programs, and then those priority programs have a decent data we can start with. So that's how we started with our VLR. So definitely there's no data is really a challenge at the local government at the city level. So uh, we just focus on what we have in our priority. So that's it.
And what way can the voluntary exchange communication among team in local governments? And what concrete examples of system and knowledge that can be shared through the voluntary to generate better solution?
Okay. So your question is more of the whole VLR. So I'll ask ESCAP to provide the copy once it is you know, published in a week or two. So all of the projects are there, which is as identified. It is aligned per SDG. It is aligned per indicator, and it also has data supporting it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So it's nice to see how our mayors are very interested in the voluntary local review and experiences from Yokohama and Santa Rosa. And of course, as soon as the Santa Rosa VLR is published, hot off the press, we'll share it with the mayors here as well. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Are there any
Abang.
more questions from the floor?
Yeah. Mr. Mia, what is the sources of the data? From where are you getting the data to make the VLR, and whom are you using? You are using for the you are hiring the some volunteers, or you are hiring you are giving to the some stakeholder to get the data. Whom are you using? What is the sources of the data?
Okay. There are several sources of data. Of course, national government have their own data, because different departments submit data to national government, the central government. We also have local data. Each departments of our city has its own data, because it has its own clients, citizens it serve. So for example, the social welfare has the list of the senior citizens, the persons with disabilities, the solo parents. Of course, the youth sector has a list of the youth, and so on. So these are local data. And then we also have, in case there's no data, that's the problem. So we are locals. We have this local knowledge. So we conduct call that we conduct a session wherein we decide, at least for a baseline, what data we can use. So it not it does it, when there's no data, it doesn't mean that we cannot move. So we are locals. We know what's happening in our locality. So in the absence of data, we agree on what is our baseline data, and we'll look at it. We'll just confirm it later. So it doesn't mean that there's no data. We won't make a plan. We won't do anything. So it should not hinder us in moving forward. So
So
again,
you
data is really a challenge,
you-
Mayor.
okay, you don't have the specific mechanism to collect the data in your own municipality, or
Oh,
you?
we have surveys, we have these things, but again, it is a moving target. A data is a moving target. So the data last year is different this year. The data 3 years ago is different. So you really have to really be updated, but you cannot do surveys all the time. So of course you have to have a baseline to look at.
So for the Yokohama, Mr. The mayor, I think you have the digital data in your municipalities because you have the very big number of populations. Also, you have the very big number of houses, and everything. You are using the digital data, how?
Please allow me to answer in Japanese. I have my interpreter, so sorry. はい、データですね、活用しています。デジタルデータを活用してですね、ポリシーメイキング、データドリブンポリシーメイキングを非常に重視して、ポリシーメイキングにおいては、プランドゥチェックアクションのサイクルを回すことを非常に重視しています。プランドゥチェックアクションです。
Thank you for your question. So the city of Yokohama uses digital data in its policymaking. Specifically for policymaking, it's very important. And so we have a planned and then check and then action, this sort of timeline that we go through.
なので、データを、集めるというのはすごく重視しているんですが、やはりステップバイステップで、必要なデータをきちんと集めるという、システムを構築してきました。長い年数をかけて構築してきました。
Just to continue, I would like to reiterate that for us, the collection of data is really important, and we have a very step-by-step approach where we identify necessary data, and over the years that we've been doing this, we've been slowly and carefully collecting the necessary data.
そしてですね、横浜は、私のプレゼンテーションの中でご紹介した通り、アジアの都市の VLR の取り組みを支援していて、ベトナムのダナン市に対する支援をしてきたことがありますが、その時にもデータコレクションはすごく重要な話題となって、ESCAP と横浜市とダナン市との協議の中で、データコレクションのエキスパートを雇うというようなアイデアもディスカッションしました。
Thank you. And as I mentioned in my presentation earlier, we take very seriously supporting other cities in Asia with their VLR projects. An example is Da Nang City, and we had a partnership through UN ESCAP, Da Nang City, and Yokohama City for a data collection in which we discussed hiring an expert to serve with this.
なかなか難しいところがあると思いますが、VLR が、何でしょう、ポリシーメイキング、より良いポリシーメイキング、SDG の達成をより確かなものにしていくものに役立つものだと確信しています。
Of course, there are difficulties involved with the making of, but I believe that the VLR is a good tool to create good policies, which will lead to achieving SDGs.
ご質問への回答になっていれば幸いです。
Hopefully this answers your question.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much once again to our speakers and our mayors. We appreciate the very great interest from our mayors on the VLR. We are running a bit behind our schedule, unfortunately. We'll be having a short break for around 5 minutes. And please come back to the session by 12:40 Bangkok time. So we'll have a 5-minute break and we'll resume with the presentations from Malang Regency and Wuhan. Thank you. Hello once again. We're back in the session. I hope you were able to take a quick break. So without further ado, can we proceed to the next slide, please? Okay, so now we will have the session on local programs, projects, and activities. Next slide, please. Okay, so the term Build Back Better was used to describe a goal for disaster recovery after the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. When the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction was introduced in 2015, Building Back Better was formally introduced as one of its priorities. So the term also gained prominence after the COVID-19 pandemic. Building Back Better refers to the process of recovery, rehabilitation, and reconstruction after a disaster that should increase the resilience of communities. While a simple concept, its implementation presents a real challenge given that recovery is not a linear progression with a clear endpoint, but part of a continuum of development and change. It is complex, long-term, and multidimensional, including economic, social, psychological, physical, environmental, political, and institutional aspects, and takes place at the same time and at different scales. Next slide, please. So allow me now to invite a representative from the Malang Regency. We have Dr. Ahmad Zulfikar Nuraman, the head of the Environmental Agency of Malang Regency, to share their project on the Integrated Recovery Resource Center in Malang Regency.
Yes.
Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you for your time, and good morning to all of the mayor around the world. This should be Mr. Region from our agency should be attending this meeting, but unfortunately he has another agenda, so I will represent him to deliver the presentation about our IRRC, Integrated Resource Recovery Center in Malang, Indonesia. So I will share my screen. So do you already see my screen now?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. So in 2014, we had a grant from UCLG ESCAP and also supported by the Ministry of Environment and built integrated integrated resource recovery center in our agency. And the idea is to tackle the waste issue that come from the livestock waste and also the municipal solid waste. And this is our agency. We have 3.5 thousand kilometers square and approximately 2.7 million population. We also rich of agriculture area. We have like approximately 8 billion USD GRDP per year, and also approximately 2,900 GDP per capita in 2024. And also we have like 390 villages in our agency. It's very vast area, so. And regarding to our issue about the waste sector, we have around 1,200 tons per day from municipal waste. And for now, we still handling about the 54% from the total of our municipal waste. From this waste, we also analyze that we have like 70% organic waste composition. So So that's why we need some technology to handle this kind of waste. And talking about the livestock waste, we have 90,000 dairy cattle across the Malang Regency, but it's also not including the around 230,000 beef cattle. Talking about the dairy cattle, it also produce a lot of methane from the manure. And then the IRC location is in Pujon, is also the highest number of the beef or dairy cattle that in our agency. So also the pollution that created by the livestock waste, the mismanagement of livestock waste are the surface and groundwater pollution, the air pollution, the agriculture failure, and also health quality problem and loss of the tourism potential. So this is our plan that being helped by the UCLG ASPART as well. The RRC Mantung. Mantung is one of our villages in Pujon, and the name of the RRC related to this village as well. So the plan is around processes around 2.2 tons waste per day, and it's also the mixing, digestion and composting, and also producing the electricity from biogas. The electricity generation is approximately 124,000 kilowatt hour per year, and we also produce compost around 140 tons per year. It also tackle the issue about the greenhouse gases emission and also increases the community awareness as well. And this is more technical about our plan. We have 4 anaerobic digester, and it's combined. It's utilizing the gas from the biodigester, and we store it and convert it to the electricity. This is the documentation of our plan. In the right corner, the bottom right corner, we have the visitation from Danish Environmental Protection Agency that came to our agency to take a look about this plan, and they're very interested to make a collaboration with us. And the contribution of about this plan to SDGs goal, because we are also producing the organic fertilizer, it's aiming the target of zero hunger, and also reducing the water pollution to tackle the clean water and sanitation target. We also generating electricity from biogas, and then we put some good management to handling the waste of the area, and encouraging people to recycling their organic waste to create a higher value products. And also we tackle the climate issue as well. We still have some constraint and challenge about this plan until this day, because we are the government, we cannot do like a business model, we cannot sell our product. So for now, we still don't generate any more value from this plan. But in the future, we try to create a new institution that allow us to sell our product. So it will be make some revenue to help our operational cost. And by this initiation of ARC, we try to replicate in the next year. We will build 3 more MRF, material recovery facility, with some integrated system to handle the waste. So the idea is to handle the unorganic waste by using the thermal technology and using the biodigester to handle and create some biogas from the organic waste. And this is the detail of our new 3 plan next year. So because the three area has the similar characteristic of the waste, so we can build the RRC in three district, and the three districts are also integrated one each other, and the budget is around 19 billion or 19 billion rupiah, Indonesia rupiah, or 1.1 million USD, with full IRC system integration, and to produce the electricity as well. So this is our short presentation. If you have any more question, because it's like a technical material, you can also contact me in my email, and I will very happy to help you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's amazing to see how the Regency's investment on the IRRC not only responded to the waste issue, but you're also able to generate renewable energy, and hopefully you'll be able to sell that energy soon. And it's also nice to see how you're now scaling up from the pilot test of the IRRC to having it in more areas in the Regency. Thank you so much. If you could stay for a few more minutes later on, and maybe we'll open the floor for questions from our mayors. Now, allow me to invite our next speaker, Ms. Fu Yun, the Senior Engineer of Wuhan Water Sciences Research Institute, to share their experience on building flood resilience in Wuhan. Ms. Fu Yun, the floor is yours.
Okay, and thank you for your introduction. Can you hear me clearly and see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Distinguished Secretary General of Media, distinguished governors and mayors. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my honor to share the experience of waterlogging control in Wuhan. First, let me introduce the fundamental situation characteristics of drainage and flood control in Wuhan. Wuhan is the capital of Hubei province, a central city of central China, which is surrounded by rivers and lakes, living in harmony with water. The abundant water resources in the Wuhan with unique charm, but also bring great challenges to the city's water security. Upstream flood and rainfall, external flood and internal waterlogging are concurrent in Wuhan. The temporal and spatial distribution of precipitation is uneven. The average annual rainfall is 1,350 millimeters. 70% of the rainfall is concentrated from April to September. Wuhan is low-lying. During the flood season, the external river water level rises 2 to 4 meters above the urban area. As a result, rainfall during flood season must be jammed into the river via pumping stations. Wuhan surface water systems are complex and vary in 3 districts. Hankou is flat with few lakes, primarily depends on pump drainage. Wuchang is dotted with numerous lakes, employs a combination of storage and discharge, with emphasis on natural storage. Hanyang has a dense network of rivers and canals, also employs a combination of storage and discharge, but emphasis on pump drainage. Next is the introduction of waterlogging treatment in Wuhan in recent years. In the process of work, we focus on implementing 4 solutions. The first solution is to strengthen source control and expand ecological spaces. Wuhan has taken the lead in creating 2 concentrated sponge city demonstration zones, one old and one new, implemented 288 sponge projects in the demonstration zones. In recent years, Wuhan continuously promoting the smart city construction. Over 800 smart projects have been completed within an area of 179 square kilometers. The second solution is to strengthen the discharge of pipeline network and remedy infrastructure deficiencies. Wuhan's unique topography and hydrological conditions necessitates continuous enhancement of drainage capacity, improvement of pipeline networks, and consolidation of core infrastructure systems for waterlogging control. First, increase drainage capacity. The pumping capacity of the central urban area has doubled compared with 2016. Comprehensively elevated regional drainage standards through measures including converting agricultural drainage systems to urban standards, adapting high-level drainage for low-lying areas, upgrading and expanding old pumping stations, and establishing interconnected operations between stations. Second, vigorously improve the pipe and channel facilities. Wuhan has vigorously implemented drainage infrastructure enhancement projects to adjust systemic gaps since 2016. Through continuous improvement to the pipeline network, including dredging, widening, and upgrading over 80 major river channels and large covers, along with adding more than 800 kilometers of new drainage pipelines. The city's overall drainage capacity has been significantly elevated, enabling the system to withstand torrential rainfall of 150 to 200 millimeters within 24 hours, achieving a design standard resilience to 10 to 20 years long event. Third, further strengthen facility maintenance. Clarify maintenance department and management duties, refine the operation and maintenance standards, and conduct a comprehensive maintenance of 5,000 kilometers of stormwater pipelines in the central urban area once a year before the flood season every year. All large and medium-sized drainage pumping stations, covered, sluices, and floodgates should be fully inspected and maintained to ensure 100% operation rates. At the same time, a third party is hired to quantitatively score and rank the operation and maintenance of the facilities. The assessment scores serve as an important basis for the government to allocate expenses, ensuring the maximum efficiency of the existing facilities. Further enhance the capacity for early warning and monitoring is also important, including increased monitoring facilities, strengthen information support, and comprehensively integrate data sources. Provide basic data monitoring data, spatial data, business data, and comprehensive data service capabilities. The third solution is to enhance the dual approach of storage and drainage synergy. Wuhan is a city with pre-crossing rivers and lakes, proactively building an urban water network and giving full play to the regulation and storage function of lakes. There are three detailed measures as follows. First, strictly control ecological space. Ecological control lines were delineated for 166 lakes in Wuhan, effectively curbing the encroachment on lakes, remove the lake enclosures for aquaculture, return the embankment to lakes, break the obstacles to lower lake levels during the flood season, and increase the space for lake storage. Second, strengthen the connection of rivers and lakes. We have successfully implemented ecological water network projects to interconnect major rivers and lakes, expanded storage capacity, and enhance flood discharge capacity, laid a solid foundation for flood season drainage. Third, strengthened the dispatching of rivers and lakes. We update water regulation schemes for critical river and lake systems annually before flood season, establish operation and dispatching simulation models, conduct routine flood risk simulations, and proactively lower water levels in storage lakes according to the regulation scheme, collectively reserving over 100 million cubic meters of flood storage capacity in central urban areas. The fourth solution is to strengthen emergency response for exceeding standards. Excessive rainfall occurs frequently in Wuhan. While strengthening facility construction, it is necessary to enhance the emergency response for drainage and flood control, as well as the capacity for rescue and risk avoidance. We should accelerate the establishment of an emergency system for excessive rainstorms. First, further improve the emergency response plan, combined with the accumulation of flood control and drainage experiences. Wuhan has established a relatively complete flood control and drainage dispatching system, enhance the feasibility of the plan. Second, further refine one site, one policy before the flood season every year. Waterlogging risk map is complied and made public to the society based on the hydraulic model. A one site, one policy emergency plan is formulated based on the risk map. Early warnings are issued prior to heavy rainfall events. Preliminary drain water in the storage facilities and pipeline network. Clean debris from jamming inlet. More than 300 sets of emergency rescue equipment were installed in various districts, with a total pumping capacity of 82.5 cubic meters per second. There were also over 2,000 emergency duty personnel. Before the rain comes, deploy nearby and remain on standby. During rainfall, no withdraw until flood waters rested. After the rain, promptly propose engineering measures to address issues identified during the period. Accelerate the remediation of waterlogging points. The last step is to promptly carry out overstandard and emergency research. Utilize models to simulate the once-in-a-century rainfall events. Conduct a quantitative analysis of key risk zones. Predicted peak water levels in lakes and drainage duration. Further identify risks to critical infrastructure within flood areas, including lifeline facilities, drainage systems, major transportation facilities, vulnerable population concentrations, and underground spaces. Relevant departments were tasked with developing targeted mitigation measures, ultimately establishing a citywide emergency plan system for extreme stormwater waterlogging prevention. The above are some experiences of waterlogging control in Wuhan. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Ms. Fu Yun. Your presentation showed the importance of having data in understanding the hazards and effectively addressing the root cause of flooding. Investment in infrastructure was also shown to have an important role in building resilience. So now let me open the floor to our mayor. Should you have any questions for our representatives from Malang Regency and Wuhan? Are there any questions or are the presentations clear so far? Seems we don't have any questions to our speaker. Oh, okay. We have from Banda Aceh. Yes, Mayor.
Yeah, thank you. I want to ask to Mrs. Fuyun, yeah, what proposed steps are outlined to maintain the effectiveness of the drainage network first, and then why is important to carry out seasonal preparation before the rainy season and floods, and what the challenges are faced in the maintaining the city's drainage facilities, and how does aging construction and infrastructure impact the drainage system? Thank you very much.
The most important in maintaining the facilities is the cost, and now we after the we will build and repair the facilities around 5 years in a term.
So the second question is, what is the important to carry out session preparation before the rainy season and floods?
In a few years ago, we don't have the preparation for the
Sorry,
restaurant.
maybe Bu Bernadia can translate. Thank you.
I think, Bu Elisa, thank you so much. But because of the time, maybe we can send you the answer. Is it possible? Because of the really time limitation, because we need to proceed to the next one. Is it okay, Wuhan, Miss Fuyu? Because you have a very good question, Mayor. However, I think we need to keep the time, especially related to the answers, so that we can give you, I mean, Wuhan can give you a exact answer. Maybe we can do it after this session, if you are okay.
Yes, okay. We will sort out the materials and
yes.
reply in writing forms
Yes,
after the
I
meeting.
think that's better.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's better, I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Bu Bernadia.
Thank you
Terima
so much
kasih.
once again to our speakers from Malang Regency and from Wuhan. Allow me now to give the floor to Dr. Bernadia for the next session on the scenario exercise.
Thank you. Thank you once again. Mayors, we have a very interesting scenario exercise. We have two case studies. Indeed, this is hypothetical nature, and maybe some of your cities may relate to the issue. Can we go to the next slide? So we have scenario one. This is on waste management. I think most of the cities have been facing this solid waste management issue. So we have overwhelmed disposal system and also pollution health risk. And scenario two, flood management and climate resilient, risk of infrastructure damage, loss of life, and health risks and unsanitary condition. I think you already know these case studies very well, or these two scenarios very well, because it was done earlier. The questions we have here How will you coordinate with the states and non-state actors that need to be part of the recovery efforts? And second, what resources would you deploy to address the crisis, despite all limitation of finance you might have? So how will you address the immediate needs and long-term recovery? So mayors, you might be able to join scenario 1 or scenario 2. I will be facilitating scenario 1 on waste management, and scenario 2 will be facilitated by Mr. Kurt of UN ESCAP. So if there is no more question, we can go to the breakout session. Or any question before we have a breakout session? I don't need to read this scenario 1 and 2, right? So every mayor, you already knows about this scenario 1 and scenario 2, right? Or you might recall what we have earlier. Maybe show the next slide, please. Scenario 1 on the waste management. This you have seen earlier. And scenario 2 on waste management, flood management and climate resilience. So mayors, I assume that you will join one of the sessions. So please, can we start the breakout if there is no question from the mayor? And
Yes,
whether,
thank you, Dr. Bernadette. I think,
yes.
yes, we will soon be going to our breakout room so we can proceed with the
Okay.
discussions.
Good. So I join you in scenario 1, breakout session 1. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes. So we are already in a breakout session? Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
We are assigning all the mayors right now.
Okay.
Also
Okay.
to all partners, you are welcome to join the break table. The partners are able to also choose which room you would like to attend. It will be divided shortly.
So see you, and thanks Wuhan for excellent presentation, and thanks to Malang Regency for good presentation. Thank you. 谢谢. Terima kasih Malang. Pak Ahmad, terima kasih.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, all rooms is open now.
Yes, I'm joining room 1.
Thank you very much, and all partners, feel free to choose a room that you would like to join at the same time.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Are we still waiting? Some more mail? How about the breakout room 2?
I think
Are
room
all here?
is not
They
back
are
yet.
not. They are still having a discussion.
Yes. I think
Maybe we can
slowly
wait.
trickling back.
Okay. So let's wait for a couple minutes.
I think everyone is back now.
Back. Okay, great. Yeah. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, mayors. I assume you had a excellent discussion, although the time is so short, but I know you all are efficient and you can deal with the crisis just within a short
Scenario.
period of time. Let's hear from the mayor on scenario 1. We will start with the waste management. You are given 3 questions. You already answered those 3 questions. And other mayors, you can also react. You can also share from your experience. So share some insights. So I'll ask Mayor Hulu Serangoon, Mayor Julaiha to present here. We discussed quite a lot, but we didn't manage to discuss the executive action. But Mayor, you can add later on this. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Dr. Bernadia. I represent the group 1. The topic given to us about waste management. So there are 3 questions given as what we see in the script. So the first question is about how to coordinate. Usually during our discussion, we agreed that we need the interference from this government, maybe from the state or from the country level. So for our discussion, in Hulu Selangor, for example, we have the special purpose vehicle or SPV to do this waste management. So that we can, and on top of that, we also have the SPV for landfill management, so that we can uniform all the rules and regulation regarding waste management in the state level. Because as we know, I believe in other countries also same approach. We have many local councils. So all the local councils, they have their own area, their own territory to manage. So for Hulu Selangor, we have a special purpose vehicle appointed by the government. So they do this waste management, and they help us in a very good condition. Then we also get the buy-in from the contractor appointed under these SPVs. They collect all the waste from residential area, from industrial, commercial, and they take it from our area and bring it to the landfill. And this landfill also established by the government through SPV, special purpose vehicle. And to coordinate these recovery efforts, we also get the cooperation from people. The community especially, we need the buy-in from the people. We cannot do alone. The local council, we cannot do alone, of course. And we also need the buy-in from the local leaders. We do the campaign, encourage the people to do this waste segregation at source, especially those that we can recycle, we can reduce, and we also can recycle, reduce. Another one is, sorry, I forgot that. Reduce, recycle,
Reuse.
Reuse, yes. Sorry, please forgive me. And
No
we
problem.
also do the campaigns to promote segregation and let all the people know and understand about the importance of circular economy, importance to take care and to manage the waste properly. And to answer these what resources we need to deploy during the crisis, of course, as what I mentioned just now, we need the support from the private sector as well. Not only from the government, not only from the community, we also need the support from private, because they can help us to reduce the expenses or the money that we need to provide to do this waste management. And to address the immediate needs and long-term recovery, immediate needs, like what I mentioned now, we need the program, we need the activities from the local government, support from the people. But for the long-term recovery, we believe we need to establish the greener and more sustainable approach to do the waste management. And in this context, we believe that waste to energy system, like we have in many developed countries, they already use waste to energy system, because through this WTE, we can convert from the waste to the energy. We can convert the waste to the biocompost and other things, so that we can establish a better environment. We can also reduce the needs for government to provide the money for the waste management system.
Okay.
That's it from our
Thank
view.
you,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you, Mayor, for Hulu Selangor for excellent presentation. I don't know if any other mayors would like also to answer this question as well. We still have a few minutes to complete this presentation. I think the one targeted mentioned by Mayor Hulu Selangor is the importance of privatization.
Yep.
However, I think it's very important that local governments should review carefully in the contracts with the private company, especially related to these 3 Rs. So in the contract should not be based on the high volume, high paid. I think that's very important to address that. And of course, incentives for community certainly important. In Yokohama, for example, they created task force on solid waste management in the past, reducing. They have a target of reducing 20% of waste in the city, and they managed to show that the waste going to disposal site has been reduced tremendously. So this is also very important figure. Normally, in the figure we show that with the increasing of the population, then there will be increasing of the waste. But from this figure from Yokohama and also many other cities, increasing of population, we see also reducing of the waste. I think that's the thing that quite interesting, so that big volume of waste can be recycled, reduced, and reused. Yeah.
Doctor,
Okay.
maybe
Yes. Yes.
I can add some more points. I
Yes.
forgot to
Yes. Please.
mention, last year we started this program, we call it Sidina. Sidina
Sidina.
in bahasa sisa jadi dana. Sisa jadi dana. Okay, in English, if we translate, become waste into fund. This is a small
Yes.
program actually. We got some fund from the federal government. So
Yes, good.
we do the collaboration with the people who living in the strata apartment. We can call them is like a low and middle income community. So we install this machine. So these people, they can sell their 3 Rs like books or tins or glass, and also their used oil. They are put in that machine. That machine, then they can get money. But that money we will credit into their account. So they will get the money through their account banks. So now I think we have about 3 machines already, and we have a very positive feedback from the people in Hulu Selangor. And we planning to expand this program, this Sidina, Sisa Jadi Dana program in future.
Sisa
But
Jadi Dana.
of course, we need more money to buy the machine and everything. But I think from our pioneer project started last year, this is a very good program to encourage our people to do this waste segregation, to reduce our
Yes.
waste to the landfill, and at the same time they can earn money from their waste or their items that we can recycle. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So let's now move to group 2 on flood management. We have a great facilitator here.
Yeah, a great facilitator, short time and maybe fewer notes. But let me turn over to the 2 mayors who are with us, Mayor of Surya Daya, Nepal, and Mayor from Banda Aceh, Indonesia. Maybe the Mayor from Nepal, please.
He's
He's
not. He's mute and also video.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay, yeah,
There he
please.
is. Okay.
Executive actions is coordinating with stakeholders, Nepal Police, Nepal Army, Armed Force, concerned security of municipality, community development, Red Cross coordinate with the districts officials, local, there is 10 local levels, and we have the risk mapping information relevant to the parties to be standby. The another is how will you coordinate? This is the first questions. Coordinating with the disaster preparedness planning stakeholder meeting, governments and provincial districts levels meetings, and experiencing and learning. And the resources, the resources would be would you develop to address the crisis? In the second questions, what resources would you deploy to address the crisis? We have the data of the risk mapping and ward level meetings and field level planning based on prioritize. We have the mapping. We have mapping, and there is also risks. It's every wards and municipality we have prioritized, and first, second, third like this, and ward level risk mapping. And we are coordinating with the district level officials, provincial levels, and also we have the told development organizations. And also we have the storage of different types of the materials in the municipality. As soon as the risk happens, disaster happens, we'll deploy it according to their needs. The third, okay. How will you address these immediate needs and long-term recovery? We have the RTT, rapid response team we have in the municipality. We use for the immediate actions. And for the long terms, we can make the, especially for we have the two, the flooding management and climate risk management, resilient. For the flooding management, we can do for the land use planning. We can go and we have the MP municipality transportation master plan we have. So we are the managing drainage and safer houses, and also we have the long-term planning for the disaster risks and climate resilience framework. Also, we have the recovery plan. Also, we have the disaster preparedness plans. These are the long-term, and RRT is the short-term.
Okay, and Mary Lisa, do you want to add anything from Banda Aceh? Let's see. Okay, so again, we ran out of time, so we didn't get to the long term, the big challenge of long-term investments in infrastructure to build resilience. But I think overall the approaches were focused on engaging the community, including the media, to inform and through stakeholder meetings, developing the emergency framework, the coordination mechanisms with state, local, and national, as well as engagement with university and industry. And then all leading to risk mapping so that there could be a more tailored approach to response to the community. And then from there, I think the assumption would be that there would be targeted infrastructure investments based on those risks. So thank you to the mayors. Nadia,
Thank you thank you so much for a great breaking session and also group exercise. Thanks to all the mayors and also all the facilitators, including myself. So let's now continue with the next session. I think we have introduction for module 3. Yes, please.
Yes, hello everybody, it's me again. So I'm gonna make this brief because just being aware of the time. So next slide, please. So in module 3, we are gonna talk about urban and territorial planning and how to make it inclusive. And we are gonna focus on how to bring to the local level the 2030 agenda, focusing on VLRs, on compact city development as well as on stakeholder engagement processes. Next slide, please. So we will have, this is the first module in which we have two different days. So first we have module 3A, in which we focus on sustainable development pathways and the VLR, in looking into what are the benefits of conducting a VLR, how can the VLR process be integrated, and also how to mobilize support and conduct stakeholder engagement. And then in module 3B, we'll be talking about urban and territorial planning more specifically, and looking into why is compact city development a key strategy for you, how to promote compact development using comprehensive and inclusive approaches, and how to monitor and evaluate the outcome of territorial planning. So we will have these two different sessions, so in 2 weeks and 4 weeks. Next slide, please. And now the homework. This time you need to have two different tasks. So first, we are going to start working into the main challenge you want to address through the initiative you will develop through the Mayors Academy. As you remember, this year you will be developing one initiative and you will be getting support from us. And in this case, what I want you to think is which challenge you want to address. And I want to make it, it is for the initiative you're going to be developing. So it's not general challenges your city is facing, it's which specific challenge you want to tackle. So you want to tackle how there is a flooding problem in a particular neighborhood, or you have an area that has developed informally and want to bring waste management system. So you need to focus on one single issue. And for doing this, you need to create a one single slide, so only one slide, presenting the main challenge you want to address through this initiative. Please send this via email to, you will get an email with more specific information, but the due date is May 26. And please remember, this is not all the challenges your city is facing. It is the challenge you want to address with our initiative and make it into one single slide. And you will be presenting it to everybody in the class next module 3A. Okay, so next slide. And then you also have to continue doing the homework for module 2A to complete the module 2 for the next part of the e-learning course. So in this case, by the end of module 3A, you should complete module 2, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. You will get a more detailed knowledge on how it is organized and what are the key objectives. Next. So here you have already hopefully completed the course introduction. So now you have to go into module 2 and click on launch, and you will have it. And it's self-paced, so you can start and then you can continue if you have other tasks. So you can be doing it in 15, 20 intervals times. Okay, so next. So now I headed back to Bernadia. Thank you so much, and looking forward to seeing your homework and to seeing you back again in 2 weeks. All the best.
Thank you, Fernando, for introducing the module 3. I know that May, as you get the homeworks, and I'm sure you will manage to complete all those homeworks. And there are a lot of challenges indeed. However, the important is to address the root of the challenges. Perhaps if you can analyze all the challenges and come up with one challenge that as a result of those challenges, then on the origin of the challenges, then maybe you can address so many challenges by addressing only one challenge. So this is the end of the module 2. I hope you find the module useful. If not, then please give us feedbacks how we can improve this module 2. I know the topic is huge, but we managed to complete this within 2 hours and address crises that faced by your cities and mayors. You experience those crises like Banda Aceh tsunami 2004. You experience in this tsunami, and then you certainly had experience and expertise in handling those challenges, those crises. And also we address the green and just transition. We talk about urban recovery framework and circular economy. I think this is the singular economy is no more to be addressed, but we have to address circular economy. We also heard how local governments and like yourself and also many other speakers presented the challenges on waste management and resilience. I think the exercise was very good because we can also heard more insight from you related to these topics on waste management and resilience. So we hope that these perspectives can provide you not only with concept, mayors, because we are not talking much about concepts or theory. We are really talking much about practical solutions to those challenges that you can apply those practical solutions in your own cities and local governments. So from your applications, we noted that you have great interest to undertake voluntary local review. I was just chatting to Mayor Banda Aceh, Mayor Elisa, who expressed interest in creating VLR as well. So we'll be happy to support you, Mayor Elisa, for the production of a voluntary local review. Indeed, we have guidelines. There are already guidelines set up. You can also certainly use that guidelines, and we can also share other VLRs that we have, and of course ICES and ESCAP and UN Habitat can support mayors as well on this regards. From the presentation, we have seen how VLR, this is a tool and modalities that support policy integration and provide baseline for crisis recovery. Every city, when they produce VLR, they have different reasons. They have different objectives. No single objective we apply for all, but this depending on the uniqueness of your city or your local government. So the strength of the VLR comes in its ability to showcase the realities on the ground, capture through an inclusive and participative process. Indeed, data has always been an issue, not only in VLR, but also in VNR production. So for the global VLR movements, this continue to grow. Actually, 2 decades ago, only 1 or 2 VLRs have been produced. Now, more and more local governments express interest and develop VLR, not only the first VLR, but also second and even third VLR they have produced. Then they can see in the progress that the cities or local governments have related to the VLR implementation, so SDG implementation. So it's really show progress in your city, and you can be very proud to show to your citizens by showing the VLR, look, we make a progress. Our city makes progress in gender equality, in poverty reduction, in economic aspects. So this can be shown from the VLR. So not only produce one VLR, please, but you can have another VLR maybe after 1 year or 2 years. Then you can see the progress. And if you can make a significant progress within 2 years, then also show the performance of your leaderships. So that's just an example how VLR has been used by mayors for SDGs localization and also show the performance. So I hope that this inspire you to pursue a VLR for your own cities and local governments. So let me conclude with this quotation. Mayors, everyone is waiting for action. So action is the foundational key to all success. I hope you all inspired to take action in creating sustainable and resilient cities and local communities. And I don't know whether the graduation will be in South Korea. But I really hope that all the mayors graduation for the Asia Pacific Mayors Academy can be in South Korea when we organize UCH ASPAC Congress in September 24 to 26. This is still to be finalized by ESCAP and Habitat and the partners of Asia Pacific Mayors Academy. But I really hope that all of you, we can meet in person at UCHC ASPA Congress in September in Goyang City next to Seoul in September later this year. So terima kasih Mayor Sisi, thank you so much, and have a very nice day, and please also join us for the Module 3. Module 3 that will be given on 27 May, same time, 11 to 14. And I also like to use this time to thank my team. We have my team Liz from UCH ASPAC who has been doing a great coordination and also in charge of this Asia Pacific Mayor Academy Module 2, and all of speakers from Malang Regency, C40, UN Habitat, Santa Rosa, IJS, Yokohama, and Wuhan, and all the mayors really have a great day. And if we still have 4 minutes, if you like to have any question or any provocation, this is fine. We still have 4 minutes. So, mayors, you have the floor, or everybody, please. We still have time, or at least you have another announcement to make, or yeah. No? Just, are you happy with this session, Mayor?
Yes, happy.
Happy?
Yeah,
Really?
very good.
Oh, that's great.
Yes,
Any
Very happy.
feedback? Very
learn a
happy.
lot of things. It is the second, second day.
Second day, second
Oh,
module.
it's
Yeah,
still-
module
yeah,
2.
second
Yeah.
module.
We
Yeah.
still
Yes.
shy.
Fair enough.
We still shy to each other.
Just accelerating.
Oh, you have any feedback? Oh, I should thank also UN Habitat. I cannot forget our important partner, and then UN ESCAP also, Rebecca, Tam, and everybody. Really couldn't name any one of this, but really thanks to you. And I think we have graduation. Oh, also, okay, thank you from UNIS. And who else? Malang, we have already mentioned ESCAP, Maldives, yeah. So can we have a graduation in September in UCH ASPA Congress? You agree or not?
Yes.
Agree.
Yeah.
Look forward.
You will
Doctor.
be sponsored. You will be sponsored.
Now
We have
will
Malang
the,
Regency here as well. Malang Regency.
yeah,
Selamat.
especially in the South Korea.
Yes.
Same month, same week, I will be there in the Korea myself.
Oh, great. Yeah. So please come again in September.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, I also would like to thank Chulalongkorn University and also APRU for a great presentation relating to community engagement. I think that was great. And you see, mayors, all practical solutions exist. So you don't need to look for the books to find out those practical solutions.
Yeah, we are
There are
bringing all
already. The important is please execute.
our people's it's our book.
Okay, great. So, any more comments? We still have 2 minutes to complete. Mayors,
Thank you, Bu Bernadia.
Bu Elisa, you have anything from your side?
No, thank you.
It must be tough to be a woman leader, but I know you are strong.
Oh,
You can make it. Yeah, 5 years.
yeah, inshallah.
Wish you all the best, mayors. Wish you all the best, and also congratulate mayor from the Philippines because they have a peaceful election yesterday, and
Oh.
one of the candidates got elected. So I hope we can still accept him. Most mayors we know got re-elected. So I think that's good news. So thank you, and I wish you all well. Sampai jumpa. See you again in the next module. Terima kasih.
See you.
Bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.